Hey, it's Rich, the Louisiana hobby guy. And there's been a lot of people, not so much recently, but recently I've had two people that have asked me, how do I do this? And it is copy shapes onto another shape. So, for instance, you have a circle and you want to copy stars all the way around the circle without having to duplicate them or move them around by hand or, basically, the last question was, how do I make the Christmas wreath that you did last year? With all the petals going around the line. Do you have to do that one at a time? No. What you do is you create one, and then you copy that along the path. So that's what today is going to be about. Today's video is going to be a Lightburn tutorial on how to copy shapes along a path. Any path, doesn't matter what it is. It could be a cutout of a cookie monster and you want to put little stars all the way around it. Well, today you're going to learn how to do that fast and easy in Lightburn, and this is going to be a quickie tutorial, I promise you. So if you're ready, let's jump over into Lightburn and get started. Okay, so I've got a couple of shapes here on my Lightburn grid, and we've got this spooky hand from Halloween. And what you might want to do, I'm not saying that you would want to do this, is you might want to put stars all the way around the fingers and the hand. So the question is, how do you do this? And you can do this really quickly. First thing you need to make sure is that this right here is not grouped, which it can't be because it's just a line, but you have to ungroup the shape if it is grouped and select just the outer line. And then you have to make sure that this is a path. So we're going to click on Edit at the top left of the screen, and we're going to convert this to a path. Now once we've done that, it creates an origin. And if we come over here on the left, right here, we're going to come to Nodes, Node Edit. Click on that. Now you see all of the nodes appear. One node is going to look different from the rest. There it is right there. It's going to be a big green box as compared to little red dots. So that is the node that we have to align this one over here to. And it's right below, right where it starts to become a straight line. So we'll go to the selector tool, select the star, and bring the star down here and make it much smaller because we don't want a big star going all the way around. And we're going to come up here to right below, right there. It just snapped. Did you see that? So let's just select this again, go back to Node Edit, and make sure that it snapped to the right place, and it did. It snapped right to that green dot. Okay, so now that we've got that right, we want to select the star first. Star first, order of operations matters. Hold down Shift, select the hand. Now we have both of them selected. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come up here to Arrange at the top of the screen. And we're going to come down here to Copy Along Path. We're going to copy that star along that path. That's why we selected the star first. Copy the star along the hand, the path. So we'll do that now. And you'll see that a few stars have popped up. They're mathematically spaced. Don't quite know the math behind it, but if you use the up arrow over here, you'll get more stars. If you change the millimeters over here, it'll change the spacing of the stars. So let's bring the spacing down some like that. And this is how you can get them to line up where you want, and then increase the number of stars. So however many stars you want is what you're going to do here. Just keep increasing it till you see it the way you want, and then you can raise or lower the space between the copies until you get exactly what you're looking for. So that's one way to do this. So we're going to cancel that now. I'm going to come back and just take that star off of there and get rid of the hand. So now we just have the star. And now I can make this a little bigger. So now I'm going to take a square and do the same thing. I'm going to hold Shift. I'm going to draw out a square just like that. I'm going to select that square. I'm going to come up here to Edit, top left. We're going to go to Convert to path because this needs to be a path. Now that it's a path, we can click on Node Edit again, and you'll see the big green boxes in the bottom right corner. So this is the origin of this square. There are 4 nodes. This one is the origin. So now we're going to take and we're going to snap this star into that origin right there. And you saw it snap. I'll do it again in case you didn't. Boom, just like that. Pretty much you see my arrow. My arrow is, I'm going to put that right over the corner and let go. And we know that that's snapped in there. If you want to check, you can just select the square and come back here again to see if you're in the right spot. We want to copy this star along the, actually, let me make this a little smaller. Okay, so now we're going to copy this star, we've selected it, along this path. So we're going to hold Shift, select that, and now we're going to come back to Arrange, and we're going to do copy along path one more time. And now this one will be in 4s. So every 4 will be exact spacing. And if we change 4 to 8, they'll all be lined up perfectly. But if we go to 9, you'll see they're all off. You see that? But if we go to 12, they're perfect. And if we go to 16, they're perfect again. Now you can, in doing it this way, go ahead and select the original path and delete it. You now have a perfect star square. Well, a lot of people say, well, I'd like to make the 13 stars in a circle. And that works exactly the same way. So we'll grab the primitive tool over here, the circle or the ellipse tool, hold down Shift and draw out a perfect circle. Now we'll select it up at the top, or you can press the Escape key, and we'll do the same thing. We're going to edit, convert it to a path, because it has to be a path, remember. We're going to grab our star. Oh, we're going to find the origin of this by coming into Node Edit, and the origin is right side, right center. So now we know where the origin is. We can take our star, snap it to the right center like that, and we can always verify that we're in the right place by going back to Node Edit. You'll see that it's perfect. It's going to snap into that origin. So now we want to align this star, so we'll select it, hold Shift to this circle, and we'll come to Arrange, copy a long path, and you'll see now we can do 13, type in the number 13, and we have the perfect star shape if you wanted to do the 13 stars on a flag. Now we can delete the original path, and there is our 13 stars for our flag. So this is a very important tool when you're designing. For instance, if you're designing a Christmas wreath or something like that, then you definitely want to learn this tool, learn how to use this tool, do a little practice, learn how to use it, and you'll find that it's going to come up in many of your designs. Many of my designs have this copy along path in it, especially when you're using odd shapes like this one here. It's very hard to take a shape like this and start putting other shapes along the outside of it. This is the easiest way that I can think of in Lightburn, and this is just another shortcut. And now finally, if you wanted to do a custom shape yourself, you could grab the pencil tool up here in the top left, click on pencil, and make your own custom shape, whatever it might be. I'm just doing this for demonstration. So there is our custom shape right there. Now this shape we don't have to convert to a path because it already is a path. We just drew the path. And if we were to take the star now and snap it to the beginning of our drawing, so remember the origin on something like this is going to be exactly where you started to draw. Let me show you real quick. So if we come over here to Node Edit, you'll see that green square is exactly where we started to draw. Here's another one at the end. So now we can take this star and put it exactly where we started to draw. Right there, it's snapped in place. With the star selected, we'll hold Shift, select the path, and do the same thing. And it's going to create the same exact results. So add a couple of stars like that, and now you can always, if you needed to, reposition the stars individually, because they're all separate shapes. They're all copies. So now if we were to delete that, and we just drew the line out, maybe we drew it around some artwork that we were working on so that we can get these in place, we can always select these individually and move them around if we need to. So if we needed to move this one over here, let's say, and maybe this one we wanted to bring up a little higher, you can do that as well. You can also select all of them and do some changing like that, or even make them a different shape. Even though it's still a star, it looks like it's not a star. So you can do all types of different maneuvers here. You can group all this together, come up here to tools, and we can warp the selection or deform the selection. So if we want to deform, we can now move parts of it around without affecting the other parts, like so. There are all types of ways that you can change the way these shapes look in Lightburn, and when you're done, get exactly what you're looking for. And I want to thank the person that emailed me and asked me how he could do it, because he is the motivation behind this video. So thank you, Dave, for giving me this idea, or actually reminding me about it. That I've had several emails over the last year and a half, 2 years, probably more than a dozen, of people asking questions. When I did my Christmas lights, how did you do the string of Christmas lights? When I did my wreath, how did you do, the wreath and duplicate all of the leaves all the way around and make it look like a real wreath? And this is basically how I did it. It's really very, very easy to do, and it's very easy to master, and it really is an intricate part of designing. So you may not use the examples that I showed you here. Those were just for learning. You may have, like, for instance, an image, maybe of a person or something like that, and you wanted to put stars around their head. Well, then you can take the pencil tool and draw out your line around their head, put your stars on there, and get it all arranged just the way that you want it, and then delete that line that you drew, and you'll have the result that you're looking for. There are so many ways that this comes into design, copying shapes along a path, that I just can't tell you. I'm surprised that so many people don't know about it. So we're going to add this to our list of, I guess, short tutorials. And I'm going to make some more of them. Some of the hidden features in Lightburn that a lot of people don't know about because they don't explore it. And probably the best way to explore it is to read the help documentation on Lightburn's website. If you just take and start reading that, you'll find things that you never knew about, and you'll say, oh, well, let me give that a try. And when you try it, it's like, boom, an epiphany. Oh, I can use this in lots of different designs. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video today, this short Lightburn tutorial. I know this is going to be a treat for some of you. But I hope you enjoyed this short tutorial as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And as always, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.